I'm Freya Barker, and I'm reading to you an excerpt of my upcoming release, Through Fire. It's book 3 of the Portland, Maine novels. So here goes. I didn't mean to scare you. I hold myself up against the doorpost as Tim bends down to pick up my keys. It's okay, I say, but I'm lying. My knees still wobble like jelly, and my heart is firmly wedged in my throat, trying to beat its way out. His responding grumble tells me he's not buying it. With a steadying hand on my arm, he uses my keys to open the door and once again marches me past the elevator and up the stairs. Wait, I insist, with a restraining hand on his chest as he prepares to unlock my apartment. What's going on? With the initial scare gone, a surge of anger flares up. Are you going to drop me at my door and disappear for weeks again? Because if you are, spare me, okay? It wasn't worth the heart attack. I snatch the keys from his hand and swiftly unlock and push open the door, fully intending to slam it behind me. Tim is faster, though, forcing himself inside behind me before closing the door firmly. We need to talk, he says, shrugging out of his coat, and for the first time I have a good look at him. I'm initially distracted by the pretty substantial beard he's grown, the unkempt hair, and his unusually casual attire, before my eyes zoom in on the lines on his face and the dark circles under his eyes. I instantly feel my anger fade. It's pretty obvious the man's not having an easy time, so instead of arguing, I take off my coat, kick off my shoes, and sit down in a corner of the couch, not saying a word. Finally, after observing me from his vantage point by the door, he heels off his boots and follows me inside. Instead of the couch, he chooses to sit down on the coffee table facing me, running a hand through his messy hair. Slowly, his eyes come up to meet mine, and he clears his throat. I don't know what I'm doing, he starts, surprising me. I don't, he repeats. My life was pretty set. I thought I knew what I did and didn't want out of it, but now I'm not so sure. Because you lost your job, I clarify. Not just because of that. Although I will admit it's a fucking sobering experience to think you're safe with 20 solid years under your belt, only to have it disappear like that. He snaps his fingers for emphasis. These past few weeks have felt like my world's been tilted on its axis, changing my entire perspective, and it's unsettling. I couldn't even handle Christmas. It didn't start with getting fired, though, he says, leaning forward with his elbows on his knees. It started when I first saw you. I can't stop the snort escaping, despite the hand I slap in front of my face. Please, I find that hard to believe, I tell him. We never even spoke more than a few words since I started working at the pub. Not until a few weeks ago, anyway. True, he admits. Doesn't mean I didn't see you. I wave my hand in the air dismissively, not ready to buy into that. Will you tell me about it? He asks, switching direction completely and throwing me off. Oh, I know what he's talking about, but I didn't expect him to be so direct. Not now, he assures me, putting a hand on my knee, but at some point. Why? I have to know. It's not a pretty story. I'm sure it isn't, but it's your story, which means I want to know it. Something about that hits me hard. The idea someone thinks I'm worthwhile knowing is still so new. So strange to learn not everyone sees you as a means to an end, a thing to be used and discarded. I've had glimpses of it, especially the last few weeks, but from Tim, it brings up a lot of emotion. Perhaps because it makes me realize he sees me as a whole and not as the sum of my parts. That's where I'm going to leave it, because I don't want to give away too much. I hope you enjoyed it. see a little bit of the tension forming between Ruby and Tim. And I hope you will enjoy the book when it comes out July 19th. It's in pre-order now, so feel free to go peek at Barnes & Noble or Amazon or Apple or Kobo, any of those sites. And hope to see you again soon.